Welcome to another time with the Canva Geek on YouTube. Today we're going to be learning how to create animated lower thirds. So lower thirds are these beautiful graphic bits that sit in the lower third region of your screen area. You'll find them in news, videos for social media. You can use them for almost any kind of video. We're going to be going through step-by-step process of creating them, how you can download them and use them even in other video editing softwares and in a streaming software like OBS. Alright, let's get to it. But first, before we go on, I would like to congratulate Pavan Vora, the lucky winner of my Canva Pro giveaway last week. Pavan was the only one who submitted something, and I would go through his submission. He said, "Merry Christmas, hello there, Pavan Vora." And then he went on and on to describe how he has been following me and all of that. I do appreciate you, Pavan. I'm very grateful for your follow, for your likes, and all of your support. So he sent this in for his submission, and so I asked for link to his Canva files, and he did well to share the very Canva source files with me. And this is to verify that really Pavan has done a great deal of job. If you ungroup each and every one, you will find that they're actually, in fact, Canva elements, and you can move them apart. So Pavan, nice work here. Great job. I would like to see what you do with the Canva Pro that you've won. I've gotten in contact with Pavan. Pavan should be enjoying his 1-year Canva Pro by now. And Pavan, if you're still listening, and I believe you are, I would like to see what you do from hence. You can tag me on social media handles at the Canva Geek on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Well done, Pavan. Today we'll be looking at 2 scenarios of lower thirds. One for a new scenario where we have a newscaster on our screen, and the second will be for a podcast situation where we have a podcaster on our scene. Just for context, let me quickly play to show you what that looks like. So we have the logo, the background video, and the text. And then for the second scenario, we have the logos of the social media, and then the handle and some color bars. So without further ado, let's get into business. So first thing you want to do is to go to a new tab and type canva.com. So here we are in Canva. I use a pro account, and you can get a pro account too for 30 days without any cost. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So next we'll be going to videos. I'll click on videos, and I'll click on this one that has 1920 by 1080 pixels. Create blank, and the very first thing we'll be doing is to change the color of this background, and you understand why we're doing that afterwards much later. So I'm going to click on the background and look for the Xcode 00FF00, and that gives us this bright green. The next thing we want to do is to add in the background video, and for that we go to Elements, type in female news reporter, enter, and make sure we're on the video tab so we can find a female news reporter. I'll go with this one. So I'll just fit this to replace the background. If I detach it, the color in the background is still in place, but for now I'll replace background with that. And next is to start our lower third. So lower thirds are called lower thirds for a reason. When you divide your screen into 3 equal parts horizontally, the lower third region, that is why it is called lower third. We take away the guidelines, and now we begin the work. So on Elements, go to Lines and Shapes. If you don't have this in view, you can just simply press the backslash key on your keyboard and look for rectangle, the second option. So rectangle is here, or you could just simply press R. It's the same thing, it gives you the rectangle. So rectangle is here. We're going to make this red, and hold on to our shift to constrain it and keep it here. I'd like to increase that a little bit. I can scale down much later. We will go back to our reference video. Our reference video has the logo as LR with a dash. So we'll come back here. So I'm going to hold Alt and drag away from the first one. That duplicates it for me. and I'm going to skew it inwards this way. I'm going to color to white. I can bring it in, scale it. I would like to zoom in from better view here. I'll make another duplicate holding my Alt and dragging away, and rotate this to about minus 90 degrees, and I'll scale this inwards again and bring this down here. So this is what I'm going to do here so that I don't duplicate my effort. I'll click on the first horizontal line and then hold my shift and click on the vertical line, and I'll let go of shift, then come to the Alt key and click on the two selections I've made and drag away, so that duplicates it for me. So now I'm trying to create an arrow, so I'm going to rotate this until I get to about minus 180 degrees, and then come back to position and use the left align. So the left align brings it this way for me. So I want to include all of this in my selection also. So holding my shift, remember, click, let go of shift, and then I can scale down. And so we have our logo almost ready. So to not duplicate effort again, I can just click on this one, hold Alt. I need to zoom in a little bit more, hold Alt, and then bring it down. Drag it out until it reaches the other end. I think I want to make this a bit thinner than the stroke width of the L and the R. And that is how we got our logo done. Okay, so next thing is I want to highlight everything here. See what I've done. I went out of the box, then selected everything. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the red box to minus that out of my selection. I'll group this and I'll go to Animate, under Exaggerate, Neon Effect. So that's that. Then I'm going to come to the red box itself, go back to Animate, and give that also the neon effect. Next thing I want to do is to get in the video that will then align with this logo to the right. So next would be to go to 3D World News background, and I'll press enter. I'll make sure I'm on video, and I'll scroll down here, and here is the video I want to use. So I'll click on this and bring it in. I'll crop these areas that I don't need down, and I would like my activities to be less on this side, so therefore I'm going to click on flip and flip horizontally. So I'm going to scale this down to about the same height with the red box and keep them together side by side. I'll need to zoom close to get a good view of this. Scale it down. Scale it down here also. Great. So I can crop off a little bit of this because I won't need everything. Next I want to do is zoom out again. And this time I want to type the name and then a description of what is happening on screen. So I'll press the T on my keyboard, which gives me the text, and I'll type out a name. Olivia Maroon. Well, you can give your reporter any name. This should be a small L. Then I want to scale this up and make it bold. Make it bold. And we'll change that color to white for some contrast. Great. For better contrast, I'll come to Effect, come to Lift, increase the lift all the way to 100 so that it gives some contrast between this text and the video background. Okay, great. We're looking good. So next thing I'll do is I'm going to hold my Alt and then create a duplicate by dragging out. And this time I'm going to remove the boldness, reduce the text, and I'm going to call this reporting live from New York. This could be anything for you depending on what you're trying to say. So I'm going to scale this down a little bit. I'll keep the alignment to left. Looking great. Looking good. I think I want to shrink this also We don't need it to go that far. And the next thing we want to create is the little bit that shows live here. So not to duplicate effort, as I always say, I'm going to hold on to the Alt key on my keyboard and make a duplicate of this red box here, and make sure it's aligned to the edge of this video and stretch it backwards a little bit. So here I'm going to make a duplicate of reporting live from New York and hold my Alt, drag down, select all, and type LIVE, and shrink the container and bring this here. Now I want that little dot that shows behind the live to be shown here. So I'll come up here to list and click on this. Now it's giving me the dot, but I have to stretch back to have this set properly. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I need to make some edits here. I need some space when I'm coming back here to do some edits, so I'll stretch this red a little bit further and I'll let the live sit somewhere in the middle. Yep, so we're good. Next thing we want to do, we want to try and see how far we've come by playing our video. And this is absolutely fantastic, but we can even make it even more fantastic. So what we're going to do is to begin to give timing to when each of these elements appear on screen, and that is going to give it the finesse that we're looking for, as seen in the example earlier. So next thing you want to do is to click on any of the elements and then right click on it and say show timing. Now in show timing, if I move from element to element, it keeps showing me the timing of each of those elements individually. Now I want to animate this as the first thing that shows up on screen, and so that's aligned to the first frame, to the beginning of my timeline. That's good. Next, I want this to also show up, and so I'll delay it a little bit, and if we play that, the logo first, then the red. We can even define that a little bit more by making sure the red is clicked and dragging a little bit away. So let's play that again. You see that? Great. So now the next thing we want is we want this video to slide in out of this red box. So how do we do that? Remember, we've already shown our timeline, and then next thing is click on this and bring this just away from where the red box showed up. So next thing you want to do is to click on this, go to animate and go to baseline, and on baseline you want this to slide in from the left to the right. So I'm going to choose this arrow, and you can see it demonstrating how it's going to come in. So this is what I'm going to do. Click on this arrow and I'm going to make it a little bit slower. Okay, great. Next, I'm going to play again and see how much I've made progress. Okay, cool. So next, I want this to be what will show the text, the name, and the reporting live from New York. I want them to be the next thing that will show. So how do I get that done? Remember, right click again and show timing. Whenever you don't find it, just right click and say show timing on any of the elements, and that gets you back on track. Now if you click on Olivia, you see that Olivia Maroon starts at the beginning. We don't want that. We want that to start right after the box with the video behind as shown. So I'm going to bring Olivia Maroon to start somewhere here, and notice how the playhead snaps to it. So next is I want this to show, and the playhead stays in place. So I'm going to bring this and bring it a bit further from the playhead, because I want Olivia to show first, then reporting live from New York to show next. So let's play that so that we can stay in context. Great. Now we want Olivia not to just appear suddenly, we want it to have some effect. So I'm going to go to animate while clicking on Olivia and go to baseline again. This time I want Olivia to come from the top, just like that. And I want reporting live from New York to also come from beneath. Okay, that's already checked. Okay, so I can play with the slider with the timing as I want. I think I'm satisfied to this point. Next thing we want to do is to animate this also. So for the live, we would like that to come in by clicking on the animate. We would like that to come in as a block effect. Okay, then the red background behind it, I'm going to zoom in close a bit, scroll down, click on the red background and change that from neon. Okay, I think neon is just fine. Neon is just fine. Okay, so let's play all of that from the beginning again. Now the red background here is showing way too heavy than we need it to, so I'm going to click on, it's already clicked on, so I'm going to drag that down a little bit further. Same with the live, I'm going to bring that down just after the red box has blinked and shown. So let's play that from the beginning again. Logo, background video, maroon, reporting live, and the last bit, reporting, then live. And that's how we do that. So to get this used in your video, how do you get to that point where you can use this in your video? So what you'll have to do is detach this video, just take it out of the way, and remember this green background we had. So we're going to save this now, download, make sure you're on the highest quality you can get, and make sure you're using MP4 video, and download. Now while we wait for that to download, we can create a new video file, open a new tab, canva.com, and from here we will start our video file afresh for the second one, and I'll click on the first as usual. And as you remember, we're going to change the color of this background from the default white to typing in the X code 00FF00, and we have this. So next we want to go to elements, and we want to bring in the video that will be our background. So in this case we're looking for African American video blogger, and I'll make sure I'm on the video tab again, and the first result is actually what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click that and say replace background. Remember, when you detach, the background is still intact, but for now let's replace background. And for this we want certain social media logos to pop up, after which we would have our handle written. And luckily enough, all my social media handles are the same, so I can just line all the logos together and then have the social media handle show right after that. So next is clear the search, go back here and say social media logos, press enter, make sure you're on the graphic, and I'm going to bring them in: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I think I am looking for Instagram now, so what I'll do is just type Instagram logo. Okay, perfect. I think I'll work with this. So now, because this is background, I have no fear, so I can select all by dragging from outside again and selecting all and scaling them down. I want to zoom close so I can pay attention to this corner here. So I'm going to drag all of this out one by one and make sure they're about the same height before I begin working on them. Okay, great. Just to be sure, I'll hold my shift and click each and every one of them and go to position and say tidy up. So it's going to tidy up the spacing for me, and we'll have this in this corner. The next thing we want to do is to draw a rectangle. So because we used rectangle recently, it's going to show up here. So I'm going to just click this rectangle and bring this here. Let's take a look at our example again. So in our example, we add the logos come up, and then a yellow bar and the blue bar. All right, let's get back to work. So we know this is going to be a bright yellow. So we can start with this yellow, go back here, and then change this to something like this. Quick. I'm going to send this a little bit backwards. Yep. And then I think I want to scale all of this up a little bit more. Great. And push it a little bit outside. Then I'll make a duplicate, holding my Alt and dragging out and changing the color from this color to blue, light blue, the Twitter kind of blue, and align that to the center. Next is to type out. So I'm going to press T on my keyboard and type my social media handle at the Canvageek. I'm going to scale this up a little bit and make it bold. Scale it even more, and I think we're fine about the size. So I'm going to scale. I'm going to zoom out now, and I think this is too far apart. So I'm going to line all these logos behind each other, let them overlap just a little bit. Let this overlap this, and let this overlap this. Perfect. So I'm going to select all this and bring them to the side, and I'm going to zoom closer. Now comes the fun part of animating. So before we go on, let's just play and see what we have. Not bad, huh? So let's go on and animate one by one. So I'm going to click all the logos, select all the logos rather, and animate. For all the logos, I want to use the pop effect. I want them to pop in. For the text, I want that to have the typewriter feel. I'll make sure I'm on both. For this also, I'll make sure that after I selected pop, they are on both. That's both enter and on exit. So next is this. I'm going to use baseline, and I want this to come in from the left to the right, just as this will be coming in from right to the left. So let's just give it a play and see what we've done. Not bad, but it can even be better. So I'm going to make work on the speed now. Right click and say show timing. I want this yellow line to come in just about the same time as the blue line is coming in, as the yellow line is selected now. So I'm going to bring it backwards a little bit. I'm going to click on the blue, and I'm going to leave that a little bit just before that. Now if we play that, see, okay, that works for us. But now the timing is what we need to get even better. So the Canva Geek text needs to start just about the same time when the blue line is showing up. So I'm going to leave it here. And for these individual icons, I'm going to start with this starting somewhere here. So it comes in first. The next will be starting just right after that. Remember, our playhead stays where the last work was done. So I'm going to go to the third one and bring that a little bit further. And then I'll come to the Instagram logo and bring that a little bit further. So we can play to see what we have right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on we go. And we still need this to align in speed and appearance. I want to pay attention more to that part of the work. We have the blue coming in first before the yellow. I think we should have the yellow coming before the blue. We want all the logos to appear first, then these two lines will appear next. So what we're going to do is to click on this. See when this comes up. This comes up somewhere here, so I'm going to keep the playhead here. So when the playhead is there, I'm going to click somewhere here to reveal this, and I will bring that in a little bit so that it comes up right out a little bit after the last logo has shown. And then for the blue, I'll bring that a bit further, and the Canva Geek also just somewhere where the blue and the yellow meet. So if we play that, this is what we have: the social media icons, the blue, the yellow, the Canva geek, and that's it. So now to export, we're going to detach the video again as we did earlier. Move this aside, go to share, say download, make sure you're using MP4 video, select the highest quality and click download. And now we'll move to the fun part, which is the part where we do the application. Already we have our first video already downloaded, so we'll wait for the second one to finish downloading, and then we'll then go over to OBS, where I usually do my stream and apply them. So next we go over to OBS, we go to a clean scene, create a media source. I'll call it video 1. I'll make sure my loop is checked. I'll click browse and go to my downloads, where I have my 2 videos. So I want to start with the first reporter video. I'll say OK to that and click transition. Most times videos come into OBS out straight. Clicking Ctrl F and transitioning makes it come back in view. Next thing you want to do is, while this is playing, you want to bring in the lower third of the first one, lower third one. I'll say OK. Make sure it's clicked, the loop is clicked, click browse, and then locate the lower third for the first work we have done, which is this. So I'm going to say OK to that. And remember, when things come in, they come in full screen, and sometimes they may not show in OBS if you have the studio mode active. So you have to click on transition. Transition then shows you, but again, it's way out of scale. So next thing you need to do is either you press Ctrl F, which is full screen, or you right click, go to transform, and from transform you say fit to screen. And so we have Olivia showing you. Now, how do we get this to allow Olivia show through? To get Olivia show through from behind this green screen area, all we need to do is right click on the lower third, go to filters, on filters click the plus sign below and go to color key. Now by default it's set to green, and so it picks out all the greens here, but you can even fine tune it further by going to custom color and then typing in the code. Luckily that's the code already there for us, and if you can see in the background, Olivia is showing through already. If I toggle off this visibility, I don't see anything. When I toggle it on, Olivia shows through, and then we can close this, and that's how that's done. And basically that's how it's done. You can take this video also and repeat the same steps just as we did here in your video editing software on OBS or whatever software you use. And that is how it's going to end for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm going to leave below in my description link to 30 days Canva for free, because some of the things I've shown here are not even available on the free version of Canva. So for Canva Pro, you'll have access to all of these tools I've used, all of the videos, assets that I've used, all of the elements that I've used for free for the next 30 days. Do click on it to subscribe to Canva Pro. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and to like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to other people and to help me grow my YouTube channel. See you on the next one.